Very warm greetings. It is indeed a great moment when all the Kenyans and, of course, the rest of the world join us, the battlefield, on our very first episode. Want to thank Kericho Gold for accepting to be the official sponsors of this very first episode. Ladies and gentlemen, lords, believe you me, Kericho Gold is doing something second to none. What I'm holding here is Jasmine Blossom, a classic blend of green tea and jasmine bird's timeless companion. All this creativity from Kericho Gold. And believe me, this is just one of the very many that Kericho Gold is doing. They have traversed this universe, gotten the best of the best flavors from the best of the best continents, including Africa, to bring you something good. And guess what? This is my tea. Now, I keep drinking more and more tea. I guess that's why they settled on that name. I go by the name Mo Tea, and I am the host of this great show, The Battlefield. Now, lights on, mic on, cameras rolling, and the host is here. Where is the guest? I know you are asking yourself all those questions as well. Kept on asking myself the same question until I think yesterday when I was told that I will be the guest, the first one on the battlefield platform to give you my story. I kept asking myself, how is this possible, man? But they told me at the battlefield, we lead from the front. Charity begins at home. So I guess here we are. I am the guest of the very first episode, The Battlefield. My name is Moti Robert, and today's episode is fatherhood. As a guest, as it is the custom, I will introduce myself. Now, I am Moti Robert. I am a son. I am a sibling. I am a husband. I am a father. And I am an entrepreneur. But today, I want to narrow my discussion, or rather my story, on my journey of fatherhood. Now, this dates back in 2017. In 2017, my lovely wife, Charity, gave me a call and told me, honey, today we're not doing dinner at home. I want to treat you to dinner. So she gave me a location towards, I think, a village market. And I drove there confidently. I wasn't aware of anything that I was going to receive there. So I went knowing that it's just one of the very many dinners that we keep enjoying. You know, lovers, you know this thing. Come on, I know you know. And so I drove there. I got there. I met her there. And of course, we shared this dinner, a romantic dinner, I'd say. And had a discussion, chit-chat here and there. You know, it's a good moment. And then there came this time, the surprise. What's the surprise again? She's like, you're gonna be a father soon. I swear that caught me unaware, by surprise, and I had mixed reactions. Over the moon, of course, but a bit nervous. that for the first time I had received news that will change my perception of this one person that I love so much. And I had to start accepting that there's someone else on the way. We did what we did, had a good moment, went home and started planning, excited. And one thing, I don't know, man. But now, fast forward, 1 week later, my wife calls me and she tells me, honey, I'm feeling some kind of pain in my abdomen. In my abdomen, rather. An abdominal pain. And I was like, you know what? You need to get checked. So my wife left work. She went to Nairobi Hospital. Of course, I drove and met her there. And we were advised to do a scan. And this scan will then reveal something that will change my perception completely. My fears, my masculinity was shrinked by this news and the events that followed thereafter. Because there was a diagnosis. Of course, the pregnancy was there, but it was not in the womb, it was in the fallopian tube, what we call ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy is the kind of pregnancy that occurs when fertilization occurs not in the womb or uterus rather, but in the fallopian tube. So sperm swims way past where it's supposed to fertilize the eggs onto the fallopian tube and fertilize the eggs there. So now what happens? The egg starts growing, and as it expands, it pushes the wall of the tube. So that is an emergency. And she had to undergo a cut. All the promises I had made, none of them I could fulfill. I had always promised that I would be there, protect you from everything. Yet here I am. I don't even know what that is, what that means. And my vulnerability at that point was exposed to a point that I didn't even know who I was. I'm sweating. And from the point of that news, you are told that this is an emergency and it needs to be worked on almost immediately. in the hospital is so strict, they cannot allow you to get out of that the same condition they walked in with, because it's a life-threatening emergency. And so that day that we went to look at what the problem that caused the pain could be, we realized that we needed to undergo surgery. And it was an emergency. It was a life or death situation. Because now, if the egg continues to grow and ruptures, not so good. So we underwent the surgery. Of course, my better half took the blade. I shared in the pain. Underwent the surgery, given 1 year to heal. And nursed the wound here and there, a bit of clinics. The problem gone. But this brave man was not brave to such news ever again. Please believe me on that. Fast forward 2019. The very same woman gives me the very same news. You can try to imagine what was going on in my mind. I'm telling you, this time round, there was no excitement. I was like, not again. Anyway, I was very cautious. We treated it like a delicate pregnancy. We started on the clinic from the very day that we discovered that my wife was expecting. And so we started on clinic quite early. We did a lot of scan, a lot more than you think. I was there, of course, every step of the way. And for all those 9 months, I can't remember of a time when I was okay. I was scared. I was like, this is the process that exposed my vulnerability. My fears are still 100%. We did what we had to do. And of course, the bump kept growing until July 17th, when the better half went for her normal routine. And they did the scan again. They checked on the baby vital and everything. Everything was good. And they told her, you have 4 weeks until you're due for delivery. So that 17th of July, they assured us that we had 4 weeks. Now, we had not prepared. Of course, we had bought clothes and whatnot, washed, but not packed. We hadn't even packed the cleaning bag and whatnot. 4 weeks, still a lot. A lot can happen between now and 4 weeks, And so we did what we had to do. And on 17th in the evening, my wife came home. That was on a Friday. That was 17th July 2020. And that was on a Saturday, actually. And we slept at around 10, 11-ish. She went to the toilet, and I was just relaxing in bed. I mean, I had had a long day. So she comes back, tells me, I think there is a problem, but I don't think it's a problem per se. I'm like, what's the problem? And she tells me, I think I've seen some black spots while I was using the washroom. And then she goes ahead and tells me, no, but I remember my friend when she was pregnant, she had the same. I looked at my wife and said, you are not your friend. Your friend is not my wife. You are my wife, and you spotted. So I got the clinic book, got my wife, of course, just sweater, whatnot. I mean, we were here yesterday, so you gotta explain what's happening. We went back to the hospital, and of course, you come. We were here yesterday. This and this is what we were told. We did a scan. Everything was normal. The baby was good. All the vitals were okay. Everything in place, and we were told to wait for another 4 weeks until the baby was due. So, but then my wife went to the toilet. She showed some spots, and now we don't know what to do. Remember, this is a high-risk pregnancy, as we had decided to treat it. So the doctor, of course, said we have to examine Madam, and first we do the physical examination rather, and if we cannot see anything, then we'll do scans, but we need to get started immediately. So upon examination, the doctor came back and told me, your wife is 4 centimeters dilated. At that point, I don't even understand the language. I was panicking because I didn't know what was going on then. And so this is the first time I'm undertaking this journey. And I've never stepped on this route before. 4 centimeters dilation is the second information. The first information is that we have 4 weeks until the baby is due. I don't know why I thought that was computerized and that we had to wait exactly for 4 weeks. But then now I asked the doctor innocently, now that she's 4 centimeters dilated, how much longer in days or weeks do we have to wait until the baby is out? Because yesterday I was told it's 4 weeks, but from the way you're talking, I believe it could be earlier. So is it by 2 weeks or 3 weeks? The doctor tells me that if all goes well, by tomorrow you'll have a baby. Damn. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't even remember I had relatives. I sat in the hospital bench the entire night. But I can tell you for sure my soul had separated from my body, and I was watching Robert go through a season that I could only term as a movie. Between 12 and 3, the dilation had risen from 3 to around 7, and they were talking about, I think, either 9 or 12 before everything is good. And we stayed until around 8:30 a.m. The dilation was 9 by then, and the doctor told me, you know what, you've stayed here all night, madam. Even as she's jumping up and down, she's been on bed, and go home, take a shower, come back. So this time is when I'm thinking, oh yeah, I have this person, I have this relative, I have this brother. So I start making some calls, and I decide to drive home. This was around 9 a.m. on a Sunday, I remember vividly. As soon as I had just gotten home, I received a call, but from a strange number, and I wanted to ignore it, but then something told me just speak, and so I picked the call, and it was from the hospital. They told me there is an emergency. The baby's heartbeat is reducing. We have to do a scan. And so I told them, go ahead and do the scan. A few minutes later, I think maybe 15 minutes later, I get another call. We need to operate on your wife. We need to do a C-section because the umbilical cord has corded itself on the baby's neck. That's explaining why the heartbeat was reducing. The baby is being strangulated by the cord, and if we don't act now, we will lose the baby. That was another episode of my vulnerability being exposed again. I couldn't do nothing to make it any easier. I agreed to that, and they did the C-section. And the baby was out. My wife was okay. And the baby was okay. I don't remember what I had done in the house because I think I picked few of what I thought would be a set of a newborn baby attire. I went with it to the hospital. I found my baby in an incubator. And I know when the baby is in an incubator, of course, there are complications. And so again, my worry spiked up, the sugar levels and everything. I'm like, come on, guys. I've already had more than enough on this journey already. What is not okay with my baby? Nurse looked at me and smiled and said, I know you're tired, but please recollect your memories very well, and you will remember that you had only come for a checkup. You did not bring no clothes. It's July. It's a cold season, and we cannot expose your beautiful daughter. In a normalcy of such temperatures, we only kept her here, adjusted the temperature to something that will stimulate the temperature that she was in while in the womb, because she has no clothes, she has no nothing. I'm like, okay, but why is she not crying though? So the nurse looked at me again. She grabbed the baby's feet. She started sort of tickling her at the palm of her feet. Oh, the baby started crying. And believe me, that was the best cry that I've ever had. That was the best. It's a cry that comes along with a lot of joy. She cried. And I requested to be the first one to dress up. So I was granted. Of course, she's my daughter. So I took her clothes, of course, with the help of the nurse, because delicate, and never been there before. So we did what we had to do. Another problem emerged. My daughter's skin was too light, and so they were suspecting that she had jaundice. And I didn't even know what jaundice was. Let me just be honest. And they wanted her to open her eyes, but she was too comfortable suckling, I think, some milk they had given her, and so suckling her lips or something. She couldn't open her eyes. They tried to force it open, couldn't. So the only way they could rule out jaundice was for them to extract blood, a sample of blood from her, and take it to the laboratory for tests. Immediately they put that syringe there. Tip. She started crying. She felt the pain. And she was like, yeah. She opened her eyes, but it's like, okay, we're here now. We've taken the blood. This skin is too light. Let's just do the tests. And when they did the tests, that eliminated all the fears. Of course, she did not have jaundice. She was a fine brown skin. Wow. (2024) now. I look back at my journey of fatherhood. If I had a chance to edit or omit any part of it, Please believe me, I will not any. It has taught me to appreciate fatherhood. It has taught me to respect both men and women, both fathers and mothers. It has taught me to view children from an elevated perspective. Children are a gift from God, but they are our responsibility. I've walked down the memory lane and I love what I am as a father. I love what they are as my wife and daughter. You might be seated where you're seated watching this video, wondering why is this happening? Ectopic pregnancy is not the end. Delayed pregnancy is not the end. It is just that you are in the battlefield and you don't have an aerial eye to give you an overview of what is on the other side after the victory. That's why we sit here at the battlefield to encourage each and every one who is fighting this very exact same battle that I fought 4-5 years ago, 6 or maybe 7, to encourage you and tell you that victory is just around the corner. Ladies, I will encourage you, if you are expecting and you feel any sort of pain, run. Don't use statistics from your friends. Go get checked. Could be ectopic pregnancy. These are things that can be prevented. You can get help if it is diagnosed at an early stage. Remember, ectopic pregnancy has killed very many and still has the potential and ability to kill. Don't fall a victim by just being ignorant. Go get checked, get scans, be sure that you're good. If you have had the cat and you don't have a child, an evidence to show of the cat, it's not the end. I was once there, looking at my wife, having undergone the cat with no baby, with no story to tell. But right now, I can tell you, victory is just around the corner. This is my message to you. Have hope, believe in God, and everything will be well. This is the very first episode of The Battlefield, and I want to thank each and every one of our viewers, our sponsors, and of course, the team for making this a success. Until next time, I'm your host, Mochi Robert. Be blessed.